Welcome back, Keepers of the Flame. Okay, 6th house stellium. Let's see what we got going on. What can I get for my 6th house stellium? Oh, we got 2. 5 of Wands, the Strength card, and the Devil. And we have 10 of Wands, the Star, oop, and the Hierophant. Okay. Okay, you're starting off kind of feisty. That's kind of in the air, though, with the planetary movement. You have the strength to take the light to it and understand it and integrate it on a really deep level here. This is taking the flame to the source with strength and courage, looking at it with honest eyes. Understanding that, like, there's a burden there that just needs to be healed. And a new door needs to be unlocked when it comes to these two together. Feel like a spiritual portal or gateway. There's a lot of hierarchy here. 6th house, solar bejesus, and Wands energy. So Aries is coming into Jupiter, so that's going to expand. But you're going to gain healing here, or you are gaining healing. You've taken your strength and your light here into a space of healing. It's going to unlock like a portal or something for you. Like a bolt of lightning is going to come in, and you're going to like get this insight on how to bring all of this knowledge, strength, and healing together. Cool? So it feels like a petty argument sparked something. But I do not see that you're part of the argument. I think you're witnessing it from the outside, because the lion, look at the lion. He's got the infinity symbol. So he sees the pattern instinctively through his third eye. He sees it. And then he's got a rose between his teeth, which means he's got some gentle grip there, because roses have thorns, right? Those who want the rose must respect the thorn, right? So he's respecting the thorn in the bush and on the rose stem, but still bringing love forward. So he's looking at this petty argument here, it feels like, from the outside, and going, not going to engage. Instead, I'm going to bring the flame towards it. I'm going to bring the light into the darkness and get rid of some of those wands. Heal it. This feels like this looks like to me like spiritual alchemy. Nice. 6th house. Nice. Alright, let's get some animal. Okay. Where are we at? Oh, 4 minutes. We can read all of these. Oyster. Fire ants. Deer. Bear. Dolphin. Dingo dango. God, I hope we do have time. Okay, ready, set, grow. Let's get the oyster. These kind of tell a story too when I read multiple of them. It's kind of fun. Maybe you're in your shell right now. Well, obviously you're observing from the outside with your intuition and your strength and your courage here. Also, I see the devil as like an intuition thing now. Like, that's going to start transforming and transmuting. The devil is like in another deck that I read, it's called the Wildwood Tarot. In that deck, he's the gatekeeper. He's the, like, you cannot pass until you understand me and who I am. You cannot pass through any portals, which This feels to me very portal-ish. This right here with the star and the Hierophant, that's portal to something unknown for you and me as of yet. And maybe you've created this space for yourself and now you just need the gateway to get through it. And this dude is going to light your way. Okay? All right. So oyster, you're still in that period of like, I feel like developing your pearl here. Lest you cast it to swine, darling. You must be careful not to cast it to swine. This is why there's vetting processes. Everybody has one, and the vetting process is the devil here, I believe, for you. Oftentimes it is for people when they come to an understanding of things. Oftentimes that is what sparks, haha, pun intended, the fire. Patient, secret keeper, hiding inner treasures. The focus and detriment of the oyster is unmatched. Anything an oyster personally puts their mind to, they achieve with grace and charm. The only problem is the oyster types often take their inner gifts for granted. They become shy or doubtful, and this can lead to withdrawing or protecting their deepest desires in life's work. When the oyster card appears, it's important to reveal your inner treasures. What is it that you've been hesitant to share? The world is waiting to see. When in balance, feels blessed, generous, and masterful. When out of balance, reluctant, gripping, and clams up. To bring into balance, share something. Fire ant. At the back. Oh, somewhere. Come on. There it is. Again, strange noises, ahoy. Okay. Aggression, rigid thinking, following orders. Fire ant energy flares up without us noticing. It is the force that attracts us to people and situations that feed our imbalances rather than those that counter them. Gossiping and blaming are a few indicators that misaligned fire ant energy is at play. You may also find yourself stewing, quote unquote, on a person or situation, only making things worse. How can you break free from the drama and cool down? Fire ants are surprisingly sensitive. Don't pretend the heat isn't getting to you. When in balance, thoughtful and disciplined. When out of balance, argues, excessive heat, gossips. Solo time to bring into balance, and walks at night. That would speak to this. I feel like you're observing it here because your next is to deer. Deers like to observe, and they don't stick around if they don't like their environment. Oop. Found it. Loving, intuitive, graceful, the mother. The deer represents the feminine aspects of earth energy. This energy is available to all creatures regardless of gender, but is especially potent in new parents. During the first few days, they are fully present, nurturing, and calm. Their inner beauty radiates, and a sense of grace calms the room. A deer personality affects others in this way, drawing them toward a quiet tenderness. The deer card may appear when a birth or celebration of new life draws near, or when a situation calls for absolute gentleness and compassion. When in balance, receptive, compassionate, and nurturing. Oops, sorry. Did you want to see the card? When out of balance, concerned, protective. To bring into balance, nature and children. Bear. Quite contradictory to the deer spirit. And this has a yellow hue to it, which is interesting. Bears are very powerful mother son. Waking from spiritual slumber, beginning anew. After a long winter, the bear arises from deep slumber. At first, the moment and effort are difficult, but the bear knows it's time to awaken and move towards the dawning light. The bear card represents an individual on the cusp of new directions and personal transformation. The initial weeks and months of this spiritual quest may feel tricky, cumbersome, and full of obstacles, but you have no choice, bear. Winter wanes, the warmth of spring emerges, and your transformation begins. When in balance, inner strength, yearning to grow. When out of balance, withdrawal, lethargy, and heaviness. To bring into balance, movement and exercise. Dolphin, yay! Innately intelligent, healer, light, blessings. The gifts of the dolphin are beyond what our human minds can grasp. Dolphin personalities are often drawn to the healing arts as they are sensitive to the subtle energy working on the level of spirit. It's easy for dolphin types to underestimate the impact they make in the world. These creatures play such an important role in the wheel of karma that coming in contact with a dolphin type will change the entire course of your day and thus your life. This card can also indicate a profound blessing is on the way. When in balance, active healer, strong spiritual practice. When out of balance, underestimates one's own power. To bring into balance, like-minded spirits. Okay, 6th house, you got a little bit of a task. Learn from this, and I think that's what you're doing here. You're taking your strength, your courage, and your love. This says to me, mother, just like the bear did. This says to me, mother. Her intuition, she sees all the patterns. She understands how things work, and she's bringing her love, her compassion, her understanding, and her acknowledgement of the thorns by placing them in her mouth. Okay? So you definitely have a journey here of major spiritual growth, and oftentimes that fire energy will invoke that spiritual process to start burning up and away, because you do have some cultivating here going on with this oyster. You're developing something that's inside of you that I think is probably going to be pulling you into this unknown area portal here. And you are going to be the healer, the dolphin energy. You're just waiting for the right time, and the spring is just around the corner. So, go 6th house, go. Keep doing what you're doing. I don't see anything wrong. Don't fall into this, slave mentality, but learn from observing. I feel like that's what you're doing, is hanging back and staying in your shell and observing what's happening instead of getting involved. It's okay to see both sides, all sides, and be honest with yourself. If you do have triggers attached to anything that you're witnessing, as far as petty arguments or whatever it might be, anything that's setting your bumhole on fire, just look at it, sit with it, understand the roots of the problem. Where is this coming from? Why is this upsetting me? Why does it hurt? Why do I not feel comfortable with this thought, feeling, idea? Sometimes you'd be really astonished at what you find there, because it's not always you that is the problem. When you can sit with something long enough to understand that the trigger is coming from someplace and it needs to be investigated and sat with, it's not always you that's the culprit. Sometimes it is a perspective that one party or many people of a, whatever it is that are holding petty ideas in their minds. And when people step into this energy, they don't bring forth their wisdom, their knowledge, their understanding, and their compassion. This is not compassionate energy. This is petty arguments. And they don't even have the foresight to pick up a sword. They're scrounging in the woods for like random sticks to beat each other with. Do you see how like unintelligible that is? So that might be what's triggering you right now, is the pettiness of it. And again, whatever that is, there's plenty of things to pick from nowadays, but whatever it is for you, just sit with it and see if you can get to the roots of it. Because whether or not it's just a pattern that you see with your beautiful bear and lion energy here, this might just be a wisdom of inner knowing that like this is not healthy energy to be around, be in, be exposed to, right? That just might be that you just need to put yourself in a different environment. You need to take your resources and move in a different direction. And again, this has a broad spectrum of little to, big, little energy, big energy. So understanding that just because there's a lot of the littles doesn't mean it's the right thing. What else can I draw from this? And it speaks to rebirthing or birthing here, new life coming in. Now that doesn't have to mean a child. It could. It definitely could. And if it is, good on you. Blessings. And if it's something to do with either your spiritual growth, your material growth, your movement, your inner, whatever it is, work process, which I consider spiritual, not everybody does, I get. But this is coming up in this, well, it's a natural process that if you allow it, it will happen naturally for you if you are in flow. If you are in the flow with spirit, it will naturally happen for you. And I feel like you've worked really hard on this, obviously, for a while. You've been working on this. So allow those things to come up, allow them to be processed, allow them to be seen through the eyes of wisdom and vigilance, is what I'm getting with the Deer card here. Because not all petty arguments need somebody to come in and be like, look. Sometimes you just need to like say, okay, I see it. It's not worth my time and energy. It's my time and energy is better spent in other places. And that's what's kind of naturally happening right now, is spring is starting to knock on our doors. And just show the little hint. I know, if you live way north. I can hear it all the way through the screen. F you, lady. F you. I'm so sorry. So getting to the point of understanding how that feels and what that alchemy is doing inside of you. So if you can start gathering all that intel that's happening right now, the way it feels when it comes to shadow work and going through the down reflective side of the season versus cultivating your soil, and then waking, starting to slowly come into what is a new birthing process and readying yourself for that, readying your environment. Do your spring cleaning, do your revamp your exercise routine. Do things that breathe new life in already, even though spring is not quite here just yet. Breathe in new life. Make yourself ready for that, to receive that. Okay, I think that's all I need to say, Success. Love you. Until next time, keep your flame.